Hey guys, I'm really sorry, but when I was recording this video, it didn't occur to me to actually introduce myself or to explain what I was doing as I was doing it. So I'm laying the tape measure across the fender, and I'm trying to get a measurement for where I'm going to put my holes. So I keep the front end of that tape measure parallel with the edge of the panel, so I keep it nice and straight. And the mark that I put on there was at the 7-inch mark, okay? So I want to make sure that that turn signal is going to be in a spot where it can sit nice and flat so that it can seal against the body. So I measure across the fender from the inner edge to the top of that bridge to find my center line widthwise. And the center line there is 1 inch and 13/16. And so I'm going to put my mark right there. Once I'm done putting my mark right there, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to lay that tape measure across there, and I'm going to mark lines, make myself a nice little cross there so I know exactly where I'm going to put my center punch later on. So I'm just going to make this little line right here, and then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to mark that spot right there that I already had marked where the center line is, and then I'm going to come back over here with my center punch. I'm going to drop it right there where those two lines cross, and I'm going to punch it. Okay, so now that the hole is punched, I'm just going to take my drill with my step drill, and I'm going to start drilling that hole out. Just step by step, I'm going to drill it all the way out to 11/16. So right now, all I'm doing is I'm just going to take this light and I'm going to feed that wire through just to see if it fits in the hole that I made, and it does in fact fit. So now I'm going to take the light back out and I'm going to measure the distance from center to center from the plug light, or the light plug, to the screw that mounts it to the body. And that measurement turns out to be 11/16 from center to center. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to measure that out on the body itself, on the fender, and then I'm just going to make my measurement again from side to side to get my center line, and then I'm going to mark my center line again, and then I'm going to punch it with the center punch, and I'm going to start drilling it out with my other step drill because I don't know where any of my drill bits are, and I'm going to drill that hole out to 1/8 of an inch. Alright, so now that I've done that hole, I'm going to stick the light back down in there, and I'm going to check the fitment once again, make sure the holes line up. They do in fact line up. So now I'm just going to go ahead and take the screw out of the turn signal, and I'm going to grab my screwdriver and I'm going to turn that screw down through the metal and cut those threads. And once those threads are cut, I'm going to back that screw back out, and I'm going to go ahead and screw the turn signal down into the body. Okay, so now that that's done, the turn signal is now officially screwed down and mounted, and it should be sealed up nice and good. And it's looking pretty good so far, but now we got to hook it up with the wiring. Okay guys, so there's the underside of the light bulb. I just routed this wire down alongside the marker light, and I just stuck it up in there. I'm going to come at it from the top now, and we're going to finish it up. Okay, so there's our wire coming up. We got a male bullet disconnect on it. I got some female bullet disconnectors. I got my soldering iron, my solder, flashlight, pliers to crimp it with, X-Acto knife to strip the wire back with. So we got everything we need. So we're going to get this started. We're going to wire it right up. Okay, I have additionally added battery charger because my battery is dead. Apparently I have a short somewhere that I'm not sure on the location of. I have my test light. Bang, boom. Okay. Now, first thing we have to do, we're going to go turn our turn signal switch on. Okay, we got our turn signals on. So now we're going to figure out which one of these wires is the turn signal wire. It should be, it's going to be one of these three wires here. Like that one. Okay. That's the ground. So that's not that one. So therefore, by the process of elimination, it's got to be this one here. Yep, that would be it. Okay. So now that we know that that's our turn signal wire, we're gonna turn off our battery charger for the time being. We don't need that. If the battery dies, we'll just charge it again. No biggie. We're gonna get that out of the way before we dump them everywhere. We're gonna take our turn signal wire here. And I'm just gonna cut a small section of the insulation off. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cut off a small little section of insulation. Okay, we have it. You can probably see that. We've got that little section of wire exposed, okay? Now what we're gonna do, I have this section of wire, okay? I'm actually going to take and strip this back a little bit further. Here we go. That's been stripped back a little bit further. So I'm just going to take this, I'm going to wrap it around that other wire, as tight as I can get it. Then, I'm going to move my test light out of the way. I'm going to turn on my soldering iron. And I'm just going to wrap my wire. There we go. Turn on my soldering iron and support those wires with it. Turn the iron a little bit because it has that little freaking jet right there that just blows heat out. And once you get your hand on that bad boy right in front of it, I'll tell you, it burns pretty bad. So we're just going to solder this joint up real good. So that it never, ever, ever comes loose. There we go. That iron aside. Now our wire's connected. It's connected right there. And don't worry, we're going to insulate that. Don't worry, I'm going to wrap that up in some electrical tape. It'll be perfect. We're going to route it down through here. Before we do that, I'm going to get an estimate, a little bit of how much wire I need. How do I want to do it? I think route it through there. Probably cut it right about here, and that should be pretty much good. Well, I can't find my cutter, so I'm going to try to use this box cutter blade to cut that wire. It should work okay. There we go. Make sure my camera's still pointing in a decent direction. Okay, we've gotten that stripped. You know what, part of the problem I'm probably having with my wire stripping ability here is the fact that that X-Acto knife sat out here in the car for a considerable period of time, and the blade is a little bit rusty. So yeah, see, that box knife blade just goes right through this insulation, no problem. Strip that wire back a little bit, twist it. Now I'm going to take one of my bullet connectors here. I'm going to slide that bad boy right up in there. I'm going to slide that bad boy right up in there. And then I'm going to take my great big huge pliers. I'm going to crimp it down as hard as I possibly can because I can't find my crimpers. And that should be adequate. So, before I do anything else, make sure it's nice and insulated. I'm going to take my electrical tape. I'm going to insulate that joint so that I don't end up shorting out and blowing a bulb or blowing a fuse or anything else that's just generally not pleasant or ideal. Okay, we're looking for optimal, not suboptimal. In order, I think the easiest way for me to do this is actually going to be to cut off a length of the tape instead of using the whole roll, since I'm working in a tight space. Cut off a length of my tape and work it in that way. I'm just going to wrap that around, cover that side, wrap it around, cover that side, come up the middle, and then we're going to wrap it around this third spot, take it back down the middle, and take it back up around that first leg again, and that should be insulated well enough for our purposes. Okay, now we're just going to route this wire. Let me bring my camera over. Alright, it's not the best angle, it's the angle we got. Okay, I'm going to try to do this the best I can without sticking my big stupid head in the way. Here's our wire. We're going to route it down through here with all the rest of the wires that are a part of the headlight / turn signal harness. Okay, we're just going to pull it on through. Plenty of slack. See that right there? I don't know if I'm pointing at it correctly, but our bullet connector's sticking out right there. Okay. And I'm just going to connect it. You know what? I don't even know if I'm going to go ahead and stick my big stupid hand down in the way so I can actually do this. You guys know what to do at this point. I don't need to show you how to connect two ends of a connector together, so. But I will have to unclip. I'll have to unclip it from here to get the slack that I need. I don't have the room down here with the frame and the bumper mounts in the way. I don't have the room to do it from down there, but at least I have the. Now I can. You know what I'll do is I'll just stick this wire back down there. Pull that wire down here. And I'll pull this wire down around these other wires to give myself as much slack as I could possibly give myself. There we go. Now that we've given ourselves the most slack possible, pull it on through as good as we can. Pull it on through. Now we have some slack, and we can come down from the bottom and take our two wires and just and they're connected. So now let's take all of our wires, put them back in our little clippy, hold it nice and snug. there we go. All right, so here's the moment of truth. All right, here's our fender turn signal. Okay, now we're gonna, because I know my battery's still dead, we're gonna reconnect that charger. Turn the bad boy on. Now I'm gonna go in here, turn the key, and flick that turn signal on, and it should start flashing the lights. Looky there. We got our nice turn signal going. See if I can take my phone out of the mount without canceling the video. There we go. And that's what it looks like when it's going. And there we go. That is how you install your fender marker light or fender turn signal on your old A-Body Mopar. Hope that this helps you guys, and have a good day.